Have you ever tried to speak English, but your mind suddenly goes blank? You know the words. You've studied grammar. You've practiced reading and writing. But when it's time to speak, your brain starts searching in your native language first. Then it tries to translate. Then it gets confused. Then it freezes. This is one of the biggest reasons English learners feel stuck. Not because they're lazy. Not because they're not smart. But because they're thinking in the wrong language. Translating in your head is a slow and stressful habit, but it can be changed. And today, I'll show you exactly how. You'll learn why this habit happens, why it blocks your fluency, and how to stop translating so you can finally think in English and speak with confidence. So get ready. This video will change the way you learn English, forever. Let's be honest, translating in your head feels natural. When you start learning English, your brain wants to connect everything to your first language. It's like a helper trying to protect you from mistakes. You hear a sentence in English. You translate it into your language. You understand. Then, to speak, you do the same thing, just backwards. But here's the problem, language doesn't work like math. Let's take a simple example. In Portuguese, you say "esta com fome." If you translate it word by word into English, you get, "I am with hunger." But native English speakers don't say that. They say, "I am hungry." So if you always try to translate, your brain will build broken English. It will feel slow, hard, and confusing. And this habit grows stronger every time you use it. Many learners spend years stuck at the same level. They understand English, but when they speak, they freeze. It's not because they don't know enough. It's because they're trapped between two languages. If you want to speak fast, clearly, and naturally, you have to train your brain to use English directly, without asking your native language for permission. And here's the good news, you can. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start thinking in small, simple English sentences. And soon, your brain will stop translating, because it won't need to. Imagine this, you're in a conversation. Someone asks, "What do you do?" You know what you want to say in your language. But your brain begins the process. Step 1. Think of the answer in your language. Step 2. Try to find the English words. Step 3. Put them in the right order. Step 4. Check the grammar. Step 5. Say it, maybe. That's a lot of steps, and they happen in just seconds. Now imagine doing this in every conversation. That's why speaking English feels slow. That's why you pause a lot. That's why you lose confidence. Translating creates a traffic jam in your brain. And that's not all. Sometimes the words don't match. English has expressions, idioms, phrasal verbs, ways of speaking that don't translate word for word. Let's try another example. In English, people say, "It's raining cats and dogs." If you translate that literally, it sounds crazy. But in English, it simply means it's raining a lot. So translation is not only slow, It's also dangerous. It can give you the wrong meaning. Fluent speakers don't think about grammar rules every time they talk. They just say what they feel. Why? Because they think in English. You can do the same. The key is to stop trying to be perfect and start practicing the way real people use the language. No more step-by-step translation. Just ideas. Words. Feelings. In English. Directly. Let's think about children for a moment. When a baby learns to speak, do they translate? Of course not. They listen. They repeat. They connect words to objects, actions, and feelings. They don't say, what's the grammar rule for this sentence? They don't ask, what is the word in my first language? They just learn by doing. They hear the word apple while looking at an apple. They hear I'm tired when someone feels sleepy. They hear let's go when it's time to leave. Their brain builds connections, without translation. And you can do it too. Even as an adult, your brain is powerful. You can build new connections the same way a child does. Start small. Use pictures, sounds, and real situations. Think in English about what you see, what you want, what you're doing. Say to yourself, I'm brushing my teeth. This water is cold. The sky is blue today. These are simple thoughts. But they are powerful. Each time you think in English, even one sentence, your brain learns faster. You're not memorizing anymore. You're living the language. And that's exactly how fluency grows. Now it's your turn. You're going to learn how to stop translating and start thinking in English. Here are 4 simple steps you can use every day. They're easy, powerful, and you don't need anything, just your mind. Step 1. Start with what you know. Use words and phrases you already understand. Don't try to think in difficult English. Think in small, clear sentences. Like, I'm hungry. My phone is on the table. It's cold today. These are real thoughts you can say to yourself during the day. Step 2. Use pictures, not translations. When you hear the word apple, don't think maca, or your word for it. Picture an apple in your mind. Red. Sweet. Round. This helps your brain connect English to real things, not to your first language. Step 3. Ask yourself simple questions. Talk to yourself during the day. Yes, really. Ask, what time is it? Where's my bag? Do I want tea or coffee? Then answer in English, even in your mind. It's 3 o'clock. My bag is near the door. I want coffee today. You're training your brain to think fast, without needing translation. Step 4. Use English moments every day. Choose a moment, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, where you only think in English. Maybe when you brush your teeth. Or walk outside. Or cook your lunch. In that moment, no other language is allowed. Only English thoughts. It's okay if they are short and simple. That's the goal. Each small moment builds your fluency. Day by day, your brain learns. Hey, I don't need to translate anymore. I know what this means. And that's how you think in English. Let me tell you a short story. Her name is Anna. She's from Brazil. She started learning English 2 years ago. At first, she was excited. She studied every day. She watched videos, read books, and listened to podcasts. She understood a lot. But when she tried to speak, she froze. Her voice stopped. Her words disappeared. In her mind, she thought in Portuguese first, then tried to translate. Sometimes, it worked. But most of the time, it felt slow, hard, and stressful. She said, "I know the words, but I can't say them when I speak." Then one day, Anna watched a video, just like this one. She realized the problem wasn't her vocabulary. It wasn't her grammar. It was her brain. She was thinking in Portuguese, and trying to force it into English. So Anna made a decision. I will stop translating. I will think in English, even if it's simple. She started small. She used her morning routine to practice. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm wearing blue jeans today. The coffee smells good. She used what she knew. She didn't wait to be perfect. And something amazing happened. After a few weeks, she started answering faster. She didn't pause. She didn't freeze. She spoke with more confidence. And now, Anna can speak English clearly and naturally, because she trained her brain to think differently. You can do it too. Your story can be like Anna's. Here's something you need to hear. Your brain is ready. Yes, even if you're a beginner. Even if you make mistakes. Even if you feel slow sometimes. You don't need to be perfect to think in English. You just need to start. Think about this. You already know many English words. You already understand simple sentences. You already have the tools. Now it's time to use them differently. You don't need to translate "I'm tired." You know how that feels. Say it in English. Feel it in English. You don't need to say "Where's the bathroom?" in your language first. You already understand the meaning. Say it straight, without delay. This is how fluency begins. It's not a big jump. It's small steps, repeated every day. Little by little, your brain will stop depending on your native language. And that's when the magic happens. English becomes a part of you. Not something you study, something you live. So don't wait. Start now. Right now. Right here. One English thought at a time. Now, let's practice together. You don't need a notebook. You don't need grammar rules. Just listen. Repeat. And think in English. Are you ready? Look around you. What do you see? Say it in English. I see a chair. I see a window. The light is on. Now think about how you feel. I'm relaxed. I'm learning. I'm ready to speak. Next, think about what you're doing. I'm watching a video. I'm practicing English. I'm not translating. Great job. Now take a deep breath and think in English. This is easy. I can do this. I believe in myself. See? You're already thinking in English. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So take one moment every day, just like this, and train your brain. Your fluency is not in the future. It's happening right now. Look how far you've come. You now understand why translating in your head slows you down. You've learned how to think in English. And you've practiced it, right here, right now. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Every time you think a simple thought in English, you grow. Every time you stop translating, you become more fluent. Remember Anna's story? That can be your story too. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need a big vocabulary. You just need to start thinking one sentence at a time. So here's your next step. Like this video if it helped you. And in the comments, write one English sentence you will use today. Something simple. Something real. Let's help each other grow. And don't forget, subscribe to this channel for more videos that will help you learn English, step by step, through stories, practice, and real-life lessons. The more you listen, the more you think, the more fluent you become. And always remember, do you want to improve your English 20x faster? Whether it's grammar, conversation, or fluency, we have the perfect material for you. Click the link in the description or the first pinned comment and take your English to the next level.